Hello and welcome to Lesson 10, Polymers, where we are learning the properties and process behind polymers. We have this little animation here about chain link being made in a factory to kind of give us a visual guide to what we're learning about today. Because we're going to be covering the definition, the properties of the slime that you made the other day, and looking at natural versus synthetic polymers. So here's a picture of a polymer structure. And you see, most substances, they have a molecular structure that resembles a cube. It's cube-ish, not always exactly a cube, but it's kind of equal in all directions. Polymers instead create these long chains of the molecules instead, kind of like that chain link that we saw getting made in the other picture. So polymerization, there's more than one way to do it. We only did one of the possible ways out there. But for all of them, small molecules link together into chains of repeating sets that continue to get longer and longer and longer while polymerizing. We have a little GIF here kind of showing you one of the polymerization processes that exists. Now, the polymer that you made, that slime, is a synthetic, which means that humans designed it, created it, like we made it for our own design, our own reasons. Natural polymers, however, those have been around forever, right? The first amino acids, in a sense, created polymer chains. And the protein in your muscles is, in fact, a polymer. You see a little example here of how those fibers in our muscles that allow us to move, lift, run, jump, etc., those are all polymer chains that are completely natural. Now, when we go back to thinking about your polymer, this pool in our little GIF here that these people are literally walking on was made with a water and cornstarch to form a polymer. These fluids that under compression resist movement are called non-Newtonian fluids. These are fluids, liquids, that don't act like what you think of when you think of regular liquids like water. Now, part of that is the idea of viscosity, which in this GIF we see here, there's different fluids that display different viscosities, how quickly they move apart. And viscosity is kind of a measure of how much they resist their shape changing, pouring, dripping, etc. And that's part of what makes a non-Newtonian fluid non-Newtonian. See, Newton figured out how to calculate the viscosity of these typical fluids, things like water. But non-Newtonian fluids have viscosities that change based on how much stress or force they experience. You kind of saw a great example of this when you slowly pulled apart your slime and it stretched and stretched and stretched and stretched, but if you pulled quickly, it tore and ripped. And that's basically it. That's all we're doing for polymers. Very short lesson. Good luck, and I'll talk to you next time.